Am I putting on weight? Because much is said and written about the work-life balance. So it's really important to address this in order for your mind, to know it, and before you can become overly stressed and underpaid. So let's look into it now. If you have a set of scales, you could break it because of the weight of work that's on one side. Because often too many people work a lot more than they said they would, or than the time they spend in order to have the benefit in other areas of their life too. And this is now how people see, as we all see, the work-life balance. And it's a work-life balance conundrum, really. While many people see this as damaging because, let's face it, it puts them under stress, whereas others, they disagree with this balance. They feel, why? Because they feel that they get so much from work. Now, although it's not a set rule, many of the people that get stressed can be employed, whereas many of those that love their work, truly adore it, and don't get as stressed, they're successful entrepreneurs. Because at times, employees, they try to be essentially people pleasers. And what their job specifications and managers or leaders dictate them to do, this impacts on their overall feelings, not just in the work, but in life too. And for them, this can be the measure of success in a position within a company. Yet, this doesn't necessarily please the most important person in the whole equation. And who is that? That's themselves. Whereas entrepreneurs, they often structure their motivation depending on what they're doing and how good the work is, rather than trying to please the boss, the manager, the supervisor, or some superior person. Because for them, there would be a decrease in the satisfaction level with their work. And this would be essentially working with less independent thought as well. They love creativity. So with this in mind, let's begin to ask yourself, have you an employee or an entrepreneurial mentality? You see, employees can often look at getting all the projects done just in time for the boss, whereas entrepreneurs, they can look at the market and see what's needed before then making a profitable product or service. They notice how much quality is needed in the service, and there's a huge amount of quality out there. But the bigger questions are, why are you working? Like, really, why? And is it for money or is it for keeping busy? Because that's another thing. Lots of people, huge amount of people, do day in and day out work when they feel they don't have a good work-life balance. They put just being busy central to their working aim, and in doing so, they aren't necessarily working towards a successful outcome, but instead they're unfortunately going through the motions. So to feel as if you have more balance, and it is a feeling, in your life, you need to address what relevance being busy has to you. And the same is true of your thoughts and your feelings around money and what you feel is your true passion in life. It's so important, and it's not just for the beginning worker, it's for all workers, because money is a great motivator to work, but it's only a thing at the end of the day. Whereas you are a living being, delete action, whereas you are a living being who can feel things. And these feelings can change now and again. Work can change these feelings. If you have an intention as to how much you want to make from your work, then, well, you'll be able to guide how much balance you need from it and other areas of your life as well. And even though you'll work hard, you can still run into walls and problems. Ask any beginning entrepreneur this. From there, you need to access another part of your life to find a balance that will enable you how to work through the problem. Because things will be on your mind if you're not getting a paycheck. And also, you can only go so far with work problems. And if money is not produced outside of this, well, then your body will begin to experience negative stress. We hold it within our body. Yet, if you can work with your passion in mind, then you'll feel more balanced as a result. There's no doubt about it. And if this passion is aligned with, say, helping people, then that's even better again. That's great. But you need to be aware you are the most important person to be firstly helped. Otherwise, essentially, you can't help others unless you come from a full cup of energy. So do what you love and you'll become that creator. And in being a creator, you are growing. So to be truly creative, you need to be innovative. And to design something new or establish a new service that people want or need. In doing this, make sure to do one thing at a time. Because multitasking, it doesn't work. Because your brain can only learn just one thing at a time. Still, we consistently think we can be as productive by doing a couple of other things at once, when in reality, we just can't be. The fact that we think we can be shows how badly our thoughts can become populated with unproductive confusion. For example, when you're, say, sitting at a computer, and we've all done this kind of computer work, and you're about to do something, to write, say, about something, and you can't do it well if you're sitting there listening to a podcast or a radio. Okay, sure, you may be certain you can indeed take most of the information in and then continue to type, but then try to reread your work and see how good it is. It doesn't work. Think back to when you were in school and you're studying with the radio on. That's why you ended up watching this video. Of course, if you're only typing to copy notes though, from a handwritten sheet of paper, you can lend an ear to the podcast or to the radio and take most of it in. But if you're trying to write, say, creatively, well, then you'll have to be more aware of what you're typing, and the background sounds will fade into scenery. Your brain will hone in on not only using your cerebellum to functionally type the words out, but also you'll need your frontal cortex to organize your sentence construction, flow, and also to plan your paragraphs, as well as accessing memories and, well, visual pictures to put it successfully on the page in order for readers to want to read more. Now, not only that, but you'll write quicker if you're only writing and not listening to anything as well. Because although you may think that you're being creative and putting something beneficial on paper, putting something out there, your readers, they'll know differently. Because after looking at the content that you've produced, it'll show. So you need to know your mentality and what your motivation for work is, what your motivation for creating is. Plan for the money you want to make, and then find your passion to align with this. Because at the end of the day, passion is what it's all about. And discard being busy and replace it with helping just one person at a time. And watch how the scales swing to the center. Maybe over a little bit of time, but that's where you'll find truly your work and life balance. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, well, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a wonderful day.